Alrighty, all, hello, and welcome back to a Friday episode. My favorites. It is the weekend. I hope you're going to enjoy yourself this weekend. And we're going to have fun like we always do on Fridays. Taking a look at severe cases of U.S. defaultism that have popped up online recently. And wow, 2026 is starting out with some delusion. These people think the U.S. is right front and center in the world, and the rest of everyone else is in the background. If you don't believe me, take a look. All right, we're going to start out easing into it, and it only gets crazier from here. I can guarantee it. All right, starting it out every time. Every time, right? Now, this one's funny. It's more innocent, but it's actually pretty funny when you think about it. Something I've learned about on this channel. When you ask someone where they're from, right? You ask a typical American, they'll say exactly where they're from. I'm from Texas. Sometimes it gets crazier than that. They'll actually say, I'm from Dallas, or I'm from El Paso, or whatever, right? Some people might even say like where they're at in the city. And the funny part is they could be talking to someone from, out of the country. Now, how funny would this be if it was flipped on them? Okay, so we have two people. Person A, I'm from Texas. They're the American, right? And person B says, hey, I'm from the Masovian voivodeship. Yeah, I would like to see the Texas person's face after that. Because if there is a face, then you should just be like, hey, you played the game, so did I, right? And obviously, for anyone wondering, yeah, Americans have an annoying tendency to say what the state they are from when anyone else would say what country they are from, right? If Americans assume I know all their states and their locations, I often respond in the same way, providing my province of residence. So this is actually somewhere from Poland. And naturally, I didn't know that. Right? So I wouldn't say to someone literally born and raised in Poland, hey, I'm from so-and-so in Illinois. They probably won't know that, just like I wouldn't know what that was. Unfortunately, I don't think Americans are going to learn this anytime soon, but this isn't so bad when you see what else they really think here. Now, this one's kind of funny because we're coming up on the end of the NFL season. Again, most people watching this probably won't even care or know what that's about. But American football, right? So we go here. Someone from, I believe, is Ukrainian. At least they have the flag there. I'm not sure, but we're going to assume for this post that they're not from the U.S., okay? And they say, teasing a commercial. Which stage of capitalism is this? Fair assessment, right? Because this Pop Crave American channel was showing a teaser for Sabrina Carpenter's Super Bowl commercial with Pringles. So if you actually think about that, they're showing a teaser, like showing an ad, kind of, right aside, right? About an ad. They're showing a teaser about a full-length commercial that's going to air on the Super Bowl. Now, for Americans, believe it or not, this makes sense, whether that's good to admit or not. Super Bowl ads are like a thing. Companies spend all their budget for the year kind of on Super Bowl ads, and they're really, creative and funny or weird or goofy or over the top, whatever their theme is. Because a lot of Americans do watch the Super Bowl, and that's the best time to shine, these advertisers. So it's a little bit of a thing. Most people outside of the U.S. probably don't know that, just like I wouldn't know what to expect for commercials on a random, soccer game or a football game aired in England or Germany. You see my point. Now, the American responded to her, living under a rock? Super Bowl teaser commercials have been going on for at least a decade. Okay. To which she responded, living not in the U.S., you meant? Yeah. So she got the favorite ratio there compared to anti-hero. Oh boy. Someone learned a lesson, I hope. And you can see why this was submitted. American assumes that everyone on Twitter is also conditioned to believe an ad for an advert is a regular thing and tries to belittle the original poster for even questioning it. Yeah. And I got to agree here. Do they seriously enjoy commercial teasers? This is how I would write a dystopian parody of the U.S. culture. Yeah, and this is true. Now, I watch it for the game. I'm into sports, somewhat, so I enjoy the game itself. But some people literally do watch the Super Bowl when they didn't watch football, or American football rather, all year. They will watch the game just for the ads. I will leave it at that. You can have fun with that how you will. I'm aware. It sounds Hilarious. Hilariously ridiculous. Hey, some of the ads, though, they slap. They're kind of funny, right? I will say that. But I also understand from the outside, it just looks weird. Now, this next post is absolutely hilarious on so many levels, right? This is something called, this was posted by Global Statistics, they call themselves, okay? Listen to that closely. Global Statistics. Hint number 2, why this is hilarious. This list is the most famous people in the world. So Global Statistics posted the most famous people in the world. World, globe. Okay. So this must be a variety of people from around the world, right? Some list. Some world diverse list. All right, now this next one is funny because, you'll see why. Basically, this has to do with a technology secretary from the UK, which, let's double check. The UK and the US, they're far away. They're different countries. One is in, the European region. One is in the North American region. And the US is not part of the UK. Got it. Okay. A UK technology secretary is creating a non-consensual intimate images law, right? Where they are making, inappropriate images with non-consensual people that didn't consent to anything, right? Images made with Grok and other AIs and stuff, right? Deep fake type stuff. They're making that illegal, right? And that makes sense. I believe, as a matter of fact, this has been proposed in the U.S. as well. Now, I don't know if it's been passed or how far it's got. I haven't followed it that closely. But you kind of see why that would make sense, right? No one wants non-consensual images of crazy stuff and not appropriate stuff with them in it floating around. Someone sends a tweet about this, okay, Politics UK. Someone agrees, yeah, this is an objectively good thing. And the American comes in at the finest moment here and says, First Amendment concerns? Last time I checked, our Constitution, our beloved, amendments, our Bill of Rights, all these things, they only apply to the U.S. The whole world doesn't subscribe to these same documents. Just throwing that out there. First Amendment is for the U.S. Come on, bro. Second of all, this is funny because the First Amendment, while I'm glad we have it, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, all these things, freedom of press, I think these are great things. Okay, that's my view. But here's the fun part. The First Amendment, even here in the U.S., literally has limits. Did you know that, fellow American or anyone watching? Yeah, it has limits. You can't literally say anything. You could say a lot of things, but you can't say, calls to action, which would be, calls to violence on someone else. And you can't just have freedom of expression, like, super literally. Like, you can't just walk around naked 24/7 outside because you're expressing yourself. There's limits. So, yeah, this is, like, a big deal. I feel like I would agree that something like this should be, made illegal because it sounds like a crime, so it is a crime. And regardless, what they do in the UK or what they do in any country has nothing to do with what we do here. And our First Amendment wouldn't restrict any other countries doing whatever they're doing. Does that make sense? I hope so. If only there was a small hint that this doesn't concern the US in Politics UK. Yeah, it was like right there in big letters. That's who made the post. The funny part is this might be true. The second comment, they probably know it's the UK. The real issue is a misunderstanding that their constitution applies to their own country only and not to others. That might be more probable than them not noticing it said Politics UK. I think they did notice that, and they just think our First Amendment is a worldwide thing. Yikes. Oh my God. Oh, I thought this was fake. I don't know if it is. I have a feeling it's definitely real. It's on brand. Oh my goodness. The logo of Trump's new global, here's that word again, Global Board of Peace. First of all, of course, it's all gold. How original, right? Haven't we all come to know that the gold, everything's gold, and some global board of peace. All right, the only country I could see in its entirety basically is the United States. Although Alaska's even cut off and Hawaii, so this is just a mess. I mean, front and center, you got the U.S. just because of the map, like Mexico's in there, but you know what I mean? Like everywhere else, there's no sign of Europe or Asia or Africa, Australia. You get it, right? It's only North America showing. South America is basically absent as well. Some global board of peace. All right, this is hilarious. I can't even believe it. This actually, correction. I can believe it. I have to agree with this. It's very tacky, these comments. It is tacky. And this is like, I don't know how many things it has been, but it's been quite a few things I've seen from our government lately that literally looks like AI. And these are like official things. I'm seeing official, logos and documentation in the U.S. right now coming from the White House. And it literally looks like AI. What the is going on here? All right, now this one I got to show you in sections because it just gets good. So we have a map of Australia, right? This is like a TikTok or something, right? And someone feels the need to comment, look at how this starts. Desert in the middle of May would be hella cold though. Okay, that makes sense because this is an Australian commenting this, right? If you don't know, Southern Hemisphere, right? May, June, July, this would be, winter, approaching winter, whatever, right? Unfortunately, most Americans just never learned this. May is the beginning of summer, buddy. Not in Australia, buddy. Why would we be talking about Australia? Where do I find the words? Very interesting people commenting on behalf of all Americans, aren't there? And finally, ending it with another one. Austria and Australia, I'm sorry, you're being roped into this. So from an Instagram post, Kmart doesn't exist anymore, buddy. This is a different guy, but another one of these Americans, okay? The whole buddy thing. By the way, if they're talking like this, they're talking kind of like, like a smartass, right? So this is not used in a good context. It's okay, though, because they look stupid while they're doing it. Kmart doesn't exist anymore, buddy. I think you meant Walmart. It's in Australia. Austria never had Kmarts. I fear I said Australia, not Austria. Yeah, what do we do? What do we do here? I don't know. I feel like sometimes I feel like people gotta understand after a while that they're just wrong about things, and maybe they'll correct it. Maybe they'll learn a little bit. Maybe they'll open a map. Maybe they'll open a book. Maybe they'll research something, right? Maybe a video will teach them a little bit of something that challenges what they think they know. Either that's not happening, or there's just too many. There's just more ignorance and self-centered, non-intelligent Americans than I thought. In which case, help. It is late when I'm uploading this. It's probably nighttime when you're watching this, like when this is uploaded, literally. So I figured, what the hell? It's Friday. It's been a busy day, so that's why it's up late. It is my daughter Emma's birthday, so happy birthday, Emma. Love you. And thank you all for watching. I appreciate you, and hopefully I'll see you again in the near future. Have a good weekend. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.